Well, hello everybody. It's William Kretzer here once again. Today, I'm here with a good friend of mine, Dr. Brooks Barefoot. Brooks, it's good to see you today. How you doing, man?
Nice to see you too, William. I'm
Yeah.
good, man. I'm good.
Oh, great.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we just want to ask you a couple questions, and let's start off with, you guys are here, Total Orthodontics.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about your journey into orthodontics.
So I actually set out to be a stockbroker, and then that was in college, and then I finished out my finance degree, and then I ended up deciding about halfway through my college career. I did an internship over the summer and didn't really like dealing with money all the time. And so then I went into medicine and I was pursuing medicine, and I got out of school and I got all my medical prereqs done. And then I worked as an orderly, and then I realized that there's no way I'm ever going to be a surgeon. So there was a lot of stuff I saw in that was very eye-opening. And so I was a bit lost. So then I ended up, prayed about it, and I looked at a lot of different fields, and I kind of fell into dentistry. No one in my family is really a dentist. And so I ended up I shadowed so many specialists and really got a feel for, being a business owner and understanding, leading staff, and I just loved it. Yeah. And so ended up getting into dental school, and then I really didn't plan to be an orthodontist. I thought I was going to be an oral surgeon, kind of going back to kind of understanding surgery and kind of knowing that world. And you build no relationships as an oral surgeon. All you want to do is knock everybody out and just take out their wisdom teeth. So most of us don't remember the surgeon that we had, but we remember our orthodontist. Yeah. So after all of that, I just felt led to do orthodontics, and super glad I did.
Yeah. So would you say then one of the big draws to orthodontics is what I'm getting is just the relationship building through the clientele and things like that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really been, I've built relationships that I'll have for the rest of my life. Yeah. And not only do we get to see a family once, obviously we see them many times over their orthodontic treatment, their child, and then you get to know the parents. A lot of times the parents come in to start treatment. And then some of these families have 5, 6 kids. So we make sure they have their own parking spot outside of our building, So like yourself, yes. So it's a blessing. It's a great job.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, great. Well, tell us a little bit about your patients, your clientele. Who all do you see in your practice here?
So a lot of people think, that most orthodontists just see kids. And, I've had many parents over the course of my career say, oh, do you guys even treat adults? And interestingly enough, I'd say probably 30 to 35% of our practice are adults. Yeah. I've treated 6-year-olds all the way up to 90-year-olds. This is one thing you probably don't know is probably half the states across the country, which is pretty cool. So I've treated patients from even internationally as well. One I finished braces on who flew to see us from Kenya, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. So we have some things that we offer in our practice. We have a lot of tools in our tool bag where we can actually treat certain patients that would normally need jaw surgery, and we can treat them without jaw surgery. Oh, wow. Now, we still treat a lot of patients, I would say a lot of patients, a small percentage, maybe 2% with jaw surgery. So it's not like we don't ever do it, but there's times where some that a lot of orthodontists might say, oh, they need jaw surgery. We can a lot of times treat them without it.
Yeah. So just explain a little bit about the clinic setup.
So in our clinic, we have 2 exam rooms. We have a private operatory. So if there's certain adult patients that want to be in a private room or kids that need some privacy, then we have that option. We also have what we call an open base setup. So we have 6 chairs in our Lone Tree office. Our Lone Tree office is off of I-25 in Lincoln. So very accessible for a lot of families that come from far away. We also have our first location, our original location, which is I-25 in Bellevue. Similar setup as to the Lone Tree office. Nice. And then we have our in-house dental lab that has our 3D printers and all that as well.
Treat people. You said you see patients as young as 6 and as old as 90, but really when it comes to the orthodontal work with braces and things like that, what are some of the things that you try to do or wait for these kids? How do you know when they really need them?
So we like to see kids around age 7 usually. There's some dentists and some pediatric dentists that are really great at following patients and knowing when to refer and when not to refer. There's a lot of dentists, and we're all skilled at different things. I'm not as good at cutting crown preps or taking out teeth. They're not as good at kind of following the eruption of the teeth. And so we like to see kids at age 7. But one thing that's important that would probably be really relevant for your audience is that out of all of the cities that we treat patients, again, from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins, Parker is probably the worst in terms of kids getting an early round of treatment when they don't need it. So what I see a lot is, oh, the kid's really crowded, so we need to do an expander and braces, and that's really not the case. So research came out 30 years ago, and there's a lot of different research that's out on treating kids in an early phase, because again, they're going to have treatment when they're older.
Yeah.
So you're paying for 2 rounds of treatment, but not just paying in terms of money, you're paying in terms of time off work, time off school, driving to the office, all that. These kids tend to have more scars on their teeth because they had braces in an early phase and again in a later phase.
Wow.
The roots tend to be shorter. And interestingly enough, in the end, the results are actually not as good, because when kids have to wear rubber bands at the end of their comprehensive treatment and get everything just right and get the bite just right, they're checked out because they've been in it for so long. So it's one of those, we try to educate people as much as we can. All these expander braces when they're 7, 8, or 9 usually is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Now there's certain things we treat in an early phase for sure. So I'd say probably about 6% of our patients that we see are treated in an early round. And again, we always tell them you're likely going to need a second round when you're done growing and the rest of the teeth come in. But most things you can actually delay doing when they're 7, 8, or 9, even when they're crazy crowded, and see them again and watch them closely. Sometimes some baby teeth can be wiggled out. And then as we monitor them in their growth, we can treat them in one phase in the future.
Yeah.
So certain things like gum recession, big cross bites, like if the lower teeth are outside the upper teeth, or back cross bites, we usually treat. But outside of that, we really don't have to intervene until they're older. But we still like to see them when they're about 7.
Yeah.
7 or 8.
Well, hey, again, this is William Kretzer, and we're here with Dr. Brooks Barefoot. Thank you so much for your time today and explaining some of the things to us. And you guys out there in Parker, Franktown, surrounding area here, come out, give these guys an opportunity to give you that free consultation and that opinion of what you or your child might need.
Look forward to it. Thank you. Thanks, William.
Hey everybody, William Kretzer here, local real estate agent. So excited to do these interviews with all of our businesses here in the area. Would love to do one with you. If you have a small business, shoot me a message and let's get you out there and get you promoted and get an interview and find out more about what it is you do. Hey, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, I'm your guy. Give me a text today and I'll take care of you as well. Have a great one.